Hi, this is Let's Start Playing. Today I'm going to be teaching you Ticket to Ride. In Ticket to Ride, players will be constructing train lines across the USA. You score points in Tickets to Rides by completing your starting and destination tickets, getting additional route cards and completing those, and also completing routes on the board will immediately score you points based on how long it is. At the start of the game, you're given 3 destination tickets and asked how many you want to keep. You must keep a minimum of 2 of these tickets, and these tickets are these tickets down the right hand side of the board here. These tickets are asking you to connect the highlighted green cities on the board with routes. If you are able to achieve this, at the end of the game, you will score the points listed on the cards here. The cities on the other card are in small blue pips, so it saves you from swapping between each of these cards and trying to check where those other cities are. All players will simultaneously pick up to 2 to 3 of these cards to keep. One thing to remember though is if you're unable to complete one of these routes by the end of the game, instead of getting positive this many points, so 13 points on this Vancouver card, you would get negative 13 points. If you're going to take one, you actually really have to finish it. At the start of the game, you'll be given 4 route tickets, which you can find over this side of the board here. This is in your hand, and what you do with route tickets is that you need to hand them in order to complete routes on the board. For most routes, you'll need the matching colors to the routes on the board in order to complete them. So for me to complete this free red route here, I would need 3 red cards in my hand. The routes on the board that are in the gray color can be completed by any colored card. For this one, you'd need 6 of the same colored card, but it could be any of the colors. There's also rainbow cards in the deck, which look like this. These can be used as any color as part of a route. You have 3 actions you can do on your turn. One is to draw train cards. Here you can pick 2 of these cards to claim into your hand from this row of cards here. When you pick one of these cards, a new one from the top of the deck will come out and replace it immediately, so you may want to draw that replaced card. You can also draw 1 or 2 of the 2 cards off the top of the deck if you don't like any of the options on the board. There's one exception to this rule, which are these Rainbow Wild trains. If they are out and face up, ready to pick, you can only pick 1 card if you decide to take it. So you can't be picked as your second pickup, and if you take it as your first, your turn will immediately end. If you get one, however, from drawing from the top of the deck, it won't end your turn and you can continue. Let's have a look at how this works now. So I'm going to draw this blue card. It comes into my hand, a new card is drawn, and I can draw one also off the top of the deck if I like. And that comes immediately into my hand, and turn goes to my opposing player. Another option you have is to draw destination tickets. If I click on this, I'll be dished out 3 more of these destination tickets. If I decide to take this action, I have to take at least 1 of these tickets, even if I don't like any of them. I'm going to pick one of these now. Once I've picked one, player will continue to the next player. Also remember, even with the destination tickets that you draw from this draw destination tickets action, these are going to be worth negative points if you cannot complete them before the end of the game. The last action we have is to claim a route. And to claim a route on the board, you need to have the required card. As I have 2 red cards and 1 wild card, I could claim a route of 3 reds. If I click on this route here, I will get asked if I want to confirm this route using the cards selected, and my train to be placed on that route. You can see these yellow areas have been crossed out. This is for higher player counts. Because I'm playing at 2 players, any of these routes with 2 paths can only be completed by 1 player. Once 1 player has completed it, the other path will be crossed out and be unavailable for the opposing player. This is only applicable in a 2 or 3 player game. On a 4 or 5 player game, you can claim both routes. When you complete a route, you immediately score the points that route length is worth. So you can see my score has gone up to 4 victory points up here. You can see how many points each route is worth from this little graph down here. So for a 6 route, I would get 15 points immediately, and for 1 route, I would only get 1 point. Up in this section of the screen, you can see how many trains each player have left, how many cards they have in their hands, and how many destination cards they have taken. This is important, especially with the trains, because game end will trigger when 1 player has got to 2 or less trains left in their supply. Everyone will take 1 more turn, including the player who triggered the end game, and then final scoring will occur. During final scoring, players will either add or subtract points based on their destination cards, and whoever's got the highest amount of points will win. Also, the player with the longest route on the board will score 10 additional victory points. When counting up the longest route, you have to look for a continuous route, and you can only ever count each train in that route once. Even if it loops around, you can't count the same trains again. And with that, you're ready to play Ticket to Ride. Make sure you complete all your routes before the end of the game to avoid those negative victory points. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please like and subscribe. It will go a long way to supporting and helping me keep making these videos. This is Let's Start Playing, and thanks for watching.